Right now I am riding a KTM 690 SMC-R. This is going to be the KTM 690 version of the Enduro. This is going to be the Supermoto. You're going to see right off the bat, this is going to be a more simplistic bike. You can see right here the gauges, there's pretty much non-existent. It just has a very simple tachometer display where you can go ahead and check your distance. It also lets you here go through the miles. It's going to show you just like average miles, and very simple as that. Then we have here the different mapping. We have 1 and 2. Then we have TC here for traction control, and that is pretty much it. Very simple bike. However, this bike is going to be great. This is a 323 pound bike. It's a single cylinder engine, so it's going to be a thumper. This bike, get this, it has 78 horsepower, 55 foot-pound of torque, and it only weighs 323 pounds. So think about that. Compared to some of these other bikes that have this big weight ratio and they give you like maybe like 150 horsepower, 70 horsepower. When you put this bike compared to those, this is going to be night and difference. You can definitely feel it's a single. You feel the vibrations coming all through the chassis. You can even see the mirrors vibrating. Just like the other motorcycle, you can see the mirrors are so tiny that you literally need something else. Like you need an extension, because there's no way this is usable when you're on the road. But you can see vibration. Beautiful motorcycle. This is being the R. You're gonna get the orange frame. This has quick shifter. It has the traction control. It has ABS. This cluster right here reminds me a lot of a Yamaha WR250R, or the Supermoto version. Very simplistic, very minimalist, which I have to say I was very surprised, given that all their bikes, even the Enduro one, has a lot more. The display is going to be more. The display is going to be a lot more involved. It has a lot more options for you to select from. So this is just very basic. So let's go ahead and here on the road. I'm 5'10". My inseam is going to be around 30, between 29 and 31, depending on the shoes and whatnot. And I don't know if you're able to get a good see, but right now I'm literally on my tiptoes. So this is going to be a higher motorcycle. It does look great. There's nothing out there in the market like this one. And you can see the neutral light right there. First, neutral. Whew, it's getting hot out here in Florida. The first ride we did today was around 9:15 in the morning. Right now it's almost 11 o'clock. This is off. It's almost 11 o'clock right now. And I gotta tell you, you feel the heat. You literally feel this heat on you. Like Florida knows how to do. So we're getting ready to go. So here we go. It has a very good pickup. This is going to be a 6-gear transmission. This motorcycle, you feel the vibrations. Right now we're doing 60, guys. You feel the vibrations coming through the seat, through the handlebars, and we're just doing 60. This motorcycle is supposed to do 112 miles an hour, but if at 60 you're literally vibrating and rattling, I don't see myself doing 100 on a motorcycle like this. This engine is supposed to have a counterbalance, which is supposed to make the engine a lot smoother. I don't want to imagine if it didn't have that, because I'm sure the vibrations will be a lot stronger than what they are now. But it does allow you for adjusting of your front forks. You have here, you're able to adjust both of them. To be able to keep the center of gravity lower, this motorcycle has the tank in the back. So in the back, by the taillight section, you have the filler hole, and the tank goes to the left and the right of your frame. So that's how they're able to That's why they're able to keep the weight low on this motorcycle. It also helps because this is not going to have a traditional metal tank. This is going to be plastic, so they're able to save on the weight. Again, this has 78 horsepower, 323 pounds, so this is a very light motorcycle. When you compare these to the Yamaha WR, yeah, you're talking about a little bit under 300 pounds, but you're only getting about 30 to 40 horsepower versus the 690 single where you have 78 horsepower. So it's going to be a big difference. There's nothing right now in the market like the KTM 690 Supermoto or even the Enduro. We do have other motorcycles. Perhaps we have the Yamaha Tenere, the 700, but even then the horsepower that you're getting out of the single, out of the KTM, you're not going to get it out of any of the other motorcycles out there. So one thing I noticed with these motorcycles, and that happened even with the 890, you are going at speed. We're going around 60. If you give it a little bit of gas, you feel the motorcycle kind of lurching, like if you had to almost bounce it to be able to get going at speed. Like right now you can feel the vibration, and it just starts like vibration and lurching. It just starts picking up speed very subtly, but it does seem kind of weird that that's how they are. I'm thinking they have the motorcycles gear very high, so that's the only reason that I can find, because I know I've had other motorcycles, and even I used to have a WR250R, and even that motorcycle was not like that. So I'm thinking this is gear very high, more like for highway riding. So, but even then. But as you can see, I don't know if you're able to get a good feel. You can even see the vibrations in the mirror, just literally, they're almost unusable. So as when you compare this to the KTM, the 890, it's going to be smooth as silk. So I don't know if you're able to see this one as well. You literally don't see anything but just headlights and just like shaking. So I'm actually intrigued now to see how the Enduro rides, because the Enduro has a lot more features. It's supposed to have better suspension. This one doesn't have adjustable rear suspension. So, but these motorcycles, right now we're doing 6. So 5, we're in 4th gear. Right now we're in 3rd. So you definitely feel the engine braking. And the thing you do notice is, he's able to pick up and go. So very good responsive motor. As long as you keep her in the RPM, you're good. One thing I don't like about this display is it's so basic that I feel like you should have at least the you should have the ability to see the RPM, which you don't with this one. So you're just riding by feel, which, I mean, if you're an experienced rider, that it's not going to be a problem. But if you're somebody new getting into motorcycles, more than likely you're not going to get a motorcycle like this. But I feel like the RPM pack should be just standard feature of motorcycles. So I do understand the way they did it is they're trying to save on money and save on weight, but you're talking that this is a $12,000 motorcycle. So I mean, it's not like you're saving that much by not adding a Tacoma. That's basically the same display as you will have on, as you will find on the KTM, either the 890, the 1290. So I mean, not really sure. Even the 390. So I'm not really sure why they didn't do it on this one. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot just to go ahead and add it here, or just have a smaller version of that, you know. Actually, right here we have, I don't know if you're able to see it, but right there, that's going to be this is going to be the Enduro motorcycle. And you can see the display on this one compared to that one. It's going to be very minimal. I'm not sure why they skimp on the display on this one. I mean, it's the same motorcycle. So, just like to the other guy, same thing. Very basic display. That one right there is going to be the 890 Adventure, so I mean, it's going to be a higher price. These wheels are going to be, they're 16-inch lace wheels. So here we have the high and low. You're going to notice from the more expensive models from KTM, it's not going to have the ability for you to do like flash your high beams. You're just going to have to do the high or low, or just go ahead and just flash it that way. Signals are going to be right here. Here's your horn. Again, traction control. You have your mapping, either 1 or 2. I wonder if I don't think it lets me switch on the run like I would with the KTM, the 890 coupe. So, but then on the other side, you have just your regular controls as well. Turn your engine, to be able to turn your engine over here, and just a very basic display. You do have the ABS here, and you do have the ability to turn your ABS on and off, which is going to be great. Some of these motorcycles now, they come with ABS, which is a great feature, and it makes riding a lot safer. But if you don't have the ability to turn it off, and you want to do some different type of riding, then you're stuck having the motorcycle dictate how you ride. So that's a good feature this motorcycle has. It has the ability to turn the ABS on and off. One feature that I really was astounded, I was really impressed with this motorcycle was the fact that it does 60.8 miles a gallon from a 690 engine that's pushing over 70 horsepower. Not very common and not something that you see every day, but it just shows you how much technology and engineering is coming along, that you're able to get 70 plus horsepower out of a motor and still get back 60 plus miles a gallon. I remember when I used to ride my WR Yamaha, that motorcycle would give me around there 55, 60 miles a gallon, and we're talking that was a 250, so you're literally getting the same economy with almost twice the horsepower, if not twice the horsepower. You're only adding maybe 25, 30 more pounds, and you're getting all that torque as well, 50 plus pounds of torque. I think it's 54 if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's a good trade-off. So right now we're going on our loop. We are about to be turning here, so I'm actually looking forward to this corner here just to see how she handles. Right now we are in third gear. Oh my god, yeah, this motorcycle is just crazy. So you could definitely notice a difference with this quick shifter. One thing that I like about this motorcycle is just how light the clutch level is. You don't have to be really pulling on it. It's just literally, you press it and you're ready, you can shift into gear. Very soft. So the only bad thing about these large group rides, you are subjected to a large group, and the rider in front of you kind of dictates the way you're going to be riding for the day. So she felt great right there. So let's see. She picks up really good. So when you're in low gear, between third and fourth gear, if you're at the right speed, you're gonna have a good time with this motorcycle. Now, when you're at highway speed, you have to downshift. The guy in front is trying to give them some distance so he can go ahead and hit in the twists or try. It's going to be basically the last curve that we have here. After this, we just go back and we go on a big straightaway. So very limited ride. It's around 20 to 25 miles an hour. So let's see. Trying to give the guy in front of me some space so I can go ahead and try to punch her right here in the corner. So these motorcycles vibrates a lot. My throttle hand, since I have to keep it on the throttle at all times to be able to keep going, you definitely feel like my hand is falling asleep. My thoughts on the KTM 690 are, it's a very light bike. Power to weight ratio is going to be unparalleled to any of the other either supermotos, enduro bikes out there. They also make this bike on an enduro version, so if you're into doing more dual sport, you're definitely going to enjoy this motorcycle even more so. It's very simplistic as far as displays goes. Very simplistic. It has a $12,000 price tag, so you would think with a $12,000 price tag you will have that LCD display that all these other motorcycles now have. Other than that, it's a great bike. If you're looking for a light bike that you're going to be able to flick on the corners, this bike is going to be for you. The 690 is going to be, it vibrates a whole lot, at least for my taste. So if you are not used to a 690 or for that matter a thumper like this one, like a single engine, you're definitely going to be in for a surprise. So however, beautiful bike, very well made. Love the frame that's in orange, the fact that the rear tank, the fact that the gas tank is in the rear by the taillight section, and the tank they put them on the sides of the frame towards the engine makes this bike handle a lot better in the corners because you're going to have a lower center of gravity. Now I think the price tag for this motorcycle is kind of steep at $12,000, especially for a motorcycle in this class. However, it feels very well made. And come on guys, look at this orange. I mean, you're literally paying for the KTM orange and you can't say that doesn't look good. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're in 6th gear. Look at the mirror so you can see the vibration and lurking of the engine. You see how you literally start just rattling like if you're gonna rattle up the motorcycle? And we're even doing 70 now and you still get the same reaction, that vibration and lurking from the engine. So maybe this motorcycle will be great if you go, once you get it, you go ahead and go down a tune from the sprocket or the rear or front sprocket. That might actually help you. So something to think about if you're looking for this motorcycle. Now this motorcycle will be great if you're into doing dual sport. Just go ahead and get the enduro wheels and you're going to be good. I believe the enduro wheels are going to be either 19 or 21 inch wheels, and that takes you maybe an hour to go ahead and swap front and rear, and you have a dual sport motorcycle and you're ready to go. So we're doing 60, we're shifting to, we're in 4th gear, we're shifting to 3rd. Here's what I want you to see. We're in 3rd. Look at the motorcycle now go. No problem, no lurching, the mirrors don't vibrate like crazy. So that's what I mean, that this motorcycle seems to be geared very high. So other than that guys, love the bike. Very nimble. If I was in the market for something like this, dual sport, this might be an option. They also have the KTM, the 890. So if you're looking for a little bit more a little bit more horsepower, a little bit more creature comfort, the 890 will be for you. But if you're just looking for just run, I don't want to say run up the hill, but if you're looking for just to get on the bike and go, I think the 690 will be for you. Now, having ridden the 890, if I was to choose between the two of them, I will probably go with the 890 just for the fact that you have a bigger motor, you are going to have less vibrations, and you're going to have all the displays that you don't have with this one. Plus, the 890 comes with cruise control. It comes with Bluetooth connectivity, so there's a lot of different options that you get with the 890 that you don't get with this one. That in my mind, if you ask me, if you're already paying $12,000. If you're paying $12,000, you might as well spend the extra maybe $1,500, $2,000 more, and go ahead and get the 890. That way you have the whole package. So now, if I was to be just riding around town and just commuting back and forth to work, I can see myself riding the 690. It's a very light, you're able to get between traffic, very economical at 60 miles a gallon, and you have a bike that literally weighs 320 pounds. So, not a bad choice. There are better options out there in the market if you're looking for economical motorcycles. You have from Suzuki, you have the 600 or the 650 from Kawasaki, the 650 from Honda, they're going to be geared more towards like the sport version, or perhaps more like a standard city version, but they're not going to be as light as this motorcycle.